welcome back to another. It's me, Cam from Cam's Cobb, and welcome back to another daily Chelsea transfer news video. Today I'll be talking about Moise Caicedo in depth, Conor Gallagher, Armando Broja, and all things Chelsea. So if you're new around Cam's Cobb, and I do daily Chelsea transfer news videos, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs very soon. So if you could like and subscribe, that would help a lot. But without further ado, let's get in the first story. Starting off with Jacob Ben via the Court Offside podcast, who has said Moise Caicedo is extremely disappointed to still be at Brighton. Brighton's so-called asking price of £100 million, even though this number has never been explicitly quoted to Chelsea, is branded ridiculous by multiple sources close to the player. He carries on by saying, it is understood that Caicedo is not planning on handing in a transfer request or at this stage of releasing another public statement. He has been directly informed manager Roberto De Zerbi and senior members of the Brighton hierarchy that he wants to join Chelsea and that he believes a recently rejected £17 million offer was more than fair. You're right, Caicedo, £17 million is more than enough. Brighton, of course, a notoriously hard team to deal with, getting £62 million for Cucurella, £15 million for Ben White, but somehow £30 million for McAllister. Cheers. Of course, Caicedo did a public statement in January saying he wanted to join, he was leaving Brighton and are going to join Chelsea. The £70 million offer from Arsenal in January was rejected, so of course it's going to be rejected again. But he's getting more and more annoyed. We're both in America. He's training with Brighton in America as well. If this deal doesn't get done when we're both in America, well then I've lost hope really. But anyway, going to the next story from Jacob Ben, which has said Caicedo's camp are now encouraging Chelsea and Brighton to hold face-to-face talks in Philadelphia. Caicedo's agent is preparing to fly into the USA to add some extra pressure. Well, yeah. We're playing Brighton on Sunday, so, I mean, fingers crossed a deal could be done before we play Brighton on Sunday. It would be a bit annoying, to play Brighton on Sunday with Caicedo in the Brighton team. Caicedo's camp are pushing, of course. They want to get as much money as possible. They want Caicedo to join the big club. Brighton, once again, being very tricky to deal with, of course. But Brighton roll. And finally, I'm going to go to Nizar Kinsella, who has said Chelsea continue to weigh up an increased £80 million bid for Moise Caicedo. Conor Gallagher could leave to make room for Caicedo and next generation Chelsea midfielders, as Tottenham and West Ham are both interested in him. Going on to Conor Gallagher, this ties on with the story with Jacob Steinberg, who said West Ham and David Moyes retain an interest in Chelsea striker Armando Broja. Conor Gallagher is also an option for the midfield. So, Broja interested by West Ham. Of course, there's a little striker merry-go-round. Inter Milan wants Scamacca from West Ham. They'd want a replacement with Armando Broja. Conor Gallagher, again, West Ham and Tottenham, both London clubs, which would make the move a lot easier for him. £50 million is what I've heard he's valued at. But if we get anything close to 40, 45, that would be great. Of course, our young midfield, which I was waxing lyrical about yesterday when we played Wrexham, was very, very exciting. And Conor Gallagher, well, yeah, he's not exciting. He's not a bad player, but he's not exciting. And maybe if we could get money now because Caicedo's coming in, it'd be a nice like-for-like swap. But let me know if you think this deal's going to happen. Caicedo could come and Gallagher could leave. Would be probably one of the worst days of my life. But finally, on the final story from Santi JFM, who has said, Chelsea are discussing contract terms with El Wahi's representatives and the Blues are trying to reach an agreement with Montpellier. At the moment, Wahi isn't keen on joining Strasbourg on loan. Well, the idea from the Chelsea hierarchy is, of course, Chelsea own Strasbourg, so we would sign this French striker and loan him back out into Ligue 1 to Strasbourg. But of course, if you're going to get signed by Chelsea, you would rather want to stick to the first team rather than get put out on loan or maybe even forgot about. He's 20-year-old French striker. Looking through his stats, 19 goals in the league last year at 20 years of age is great. Loads of assists as well, so very exciting. Of course, Chelsea are in dire need of a striker, but Nicholas Jackson looked pretty good against Wrexham. But, say if Broja were to leave, why he came in, like-for-like swap. I've said this many times in this channel, but Pochettino feels that two strikers that we have are enough, but if he wanted to add a third, that's when we'd get out if he feels either Broja or Jackson aren't up to the standard that he wants. But I reckon Jackson played pretty well on the weekend. Broja's yet to start, but maybe he won't be looking for another striker. But yeah, that's the deal. Atletico Madrid are also interested in Wahi, so that's going to be very interesting to see where this deal goes. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you tomorrow for more Chelsea transfer news videos where hopefully Caicedo is done. But we can dream. See you then.